All right, y'all, today we're going to tell you about ManaPool.com for three reasons, really. The first is that we're going to be able to tell you about some ways you can get some free credit to spend on Magic cards on their website. The second is we're going to tell you about some cool features on the site that you may not have known if you haven't ordered from them yet. The other is they're going to be a sponsor right here on the PowrDragn YouTube channel and our podcast, Color of Magic. So thanks, ManaPool. All right, hopping into their website, you can see clearly that there are now over 35 million cards listed in stock on their website, which is super good. So if you're looking for damn near anything, it's probably going to be here. But there are a couple of cool features. If you look down here below, they have a claim a daily rewards. This is the first way you can get credit to spend on the website. So what you do is you come here every day, you click it, and then there's a randomizer on how much credit you're going to get added to your account. Now, per their rules, you have to have made a purchase in the last 30 days, but every day during the month, you can come and just click on that link. And then here are the odds that you will get different amounts of what they call extra mana that goes as credit to your account that you can spend on cards later. So you might get a bunch, you might get a little, but it's free. That's the first way. And we'll get to those others here in a second, but we're going to talk about a couple things on the website that I think are very cool. So you can scroll down, and what they do is they have kind of just a highlight of some sealed products that you could pick up on the website, which is very cool. You can also just see hot cards in Commander that are available from some of the most recent sets. And Standard also on here. So if you're looking for something, maybe some variants, and you can scroll down and just look at other cards, which is pretty sweet. There's also Modern cards listed on here. And I also think some people might be saying, well, are the sellers legit? Are they real stores? Well, yes, some of you maybe ordered from some of these other stores before, because you can see Journey's End Games, Tales of Adventure, Wasteland Gaming, Cape Fear Games, who's been around a long time, Plus EV Games. There's a bunch. Like, there's tons and tons. You can go through and see all the different vendors. Card Titan's also one that people see at shows. So yeah, just like you've ordered from the other website, you can order from here and pick up stuff from legitimate vendors. But about one of those other ways you can actually earn credit to get cards on their site. I'll have a referral link in most of my YouTube comment sections. I'll pin the comment, and then also in our description. So it'll be a referral link, both one if you're a new customer to ManaPool and one if you're an existing customer to ManaPool. So something to know if you just want to go over, get an account set up, get $5 credit, and then look around and see if you want something. Another cool thing going forward is, well, you'll see my face on this link that I'll also have in my descriptions. And this will give you the link that takes you right to the deck if you decide you want to buy it. Maybe you have a event coming up soon or whatever, and you're just looking for something different to play. You can scroll through and I'll have all the different decks listed from the last few days, or even all the way through the last month. And you can come on here and just click whatever you want. And they have a really cool optimizer. So let's take a look at that real quick. So we clicked on the budget Boros Burn deck. So if you wanted to pick this up, it's one of the cheaper decks on there. So I'm going to use this for an example. What you would do is you would go through, you can just check and say, all right, this deck looks fun. I think I want to order this. You click the buy deck button. And then it takes you to this page. It kind of just lays everything out, shows all the cards that are there. And then you click optimize price. Now this is where it gets kind of interesting because it shows you everything that's currently in your cart. And you can set your minimum condition if you want it to be lightly played, only near mint, if you're willing to take heavily played cards or whatever, because the worse the condition, the cheaper the cards are. So if you're willing to take accept heavily played cards, you go ahead and click that. But a lot of people are going to be at like lightly played most of the time. Also, if you're into foils, non-foils, whatever, I'm a non-foil only person, so I normally will click the non-foils. I don't know, some of you love foils. I'm just not a foil person, especially for shuffling and whatnot. And then, of course, English only for me. It's easier when I want to trade them and whatnot in the future. So it shows you what your current cart looks like and what's available. However, you can hit the optimize thing, and it'll say optimize however many cards are in your list. So you just click that button. And then you get to watch it go to work here for a second. And sometimes it'll take a couple minutes, but it's going to go through and figure out the lowest possible total price, regardless of the number of packages. It'll have the fewest packages. So if you don't want to wait for 8 or 10 packages to show up, it'll say, all right, we can do this in 4. And then there's one that's kind of in the middle, that it looks for the best price and the fewest packages and kind of get you right in the middle. So you can shop based on whether you want to save the most money, get the fewest packages, etc.
A few moments later.
Now, the cool part is you can just look at this and say, okay, well, the lowest price is $120, so I could just take that, but I'm gonna have to wait on 10 packages, which might be okay if you're just trying to save the maximum amount of money. But you can also look at the most balance, which is a mid number of packages, but trying to save the most money is only going to be 5 packages, and that's $127. But then also, This particular package, you can do it in just 2 packages, and then you'll pay 146. So it's $20 more than the other option, but you're only gonna be waiting on 2 packages. So depending on what you prefer, this can actually solve that problem for you. But here's another interesting thing, because some people say, "Well, what if I don't need the whole deck because I already own, like, half the cards?" Then you'll go into select, and then we'll then add everything to your cart. And then from here, you can take out the cards you have. So let's say I already own a bunch of mountains, right? So I can just remove those from the order. So we'll click remove and get those out of here. Then we might already have a bunch of lightning strikes because this is a budget deck, right? There's a bunch of commons. We already own some shocks. Those can be removed. We're going to say, all right, we removed, in theory, everything we're going to remove. There's 33 cards left. Still tells you there's 5 packages. We're down to 120 bucks. So we cut out several dollars just doing that as well, taking out the cards we already owned. And then when we're ready, we just hit checkout, and then you go through all the typical steps as you would to check out your order. Now, one of the other things you'll notice is anytime you buy something on ManaPool.com, there will be this message at the top for extra mana reward. And there's different levels you can get to based on how much you've used their site. But every order you make will give you some amount of these extra mana reward points that go into your account, and your level will go up. So as your level goes up, you get more discounts. And here's the chart for that on using your extra mana. It says you can apply your extra mana during checkout to get the discount. Each 1,000 points gets you $1 off your order. And then as you scroll through, you can see here that at the basic level, you get 7 per each dollar you spend. As you go up, you get 8, you get 9, you get 10, so on and so on as you kind of level up in their system. So over time, you eventually get more credits to spend more money, or more accurately, spend less money because you can use your credit for that. Also note that your extra mana is pretty much just there as long as you make an order within a 2-year window. So it doesn't expire for a very long time. Another fun feature of the site, and I don't even know if I would say fun, just really useful, that I've seen multiple people mention is sometimes what you've had happen on other sites is you have your deck picked out, you pick out your vendors, you get your order, and then something gets canceled. So now you're scrambling to replace the card. Well, multiple people have said ManaPool has actually sent them a message when something has been canceled, and they goes to the system itself, finds a similar card at a similar price, and then just sends you a message to let you know that the card is still coming just from another vendor. That's a super convenient feature that I don't think I've seen on other websites. So again, if you want to go ahead and get your first $5 worth of mana, go ahead and click the links below, go sign up, use the referral links, and check out the site and let me know what you think. That's all I have you for now. We'll see you next time.